Hello, Xsell Realtors. I'm going to do a follow-up to our second Jumpstart meeting. We recorded some of it, but it didn't come out as well as I would have liked, so I'm going to go over a little bit of what our second meeting was about. The first part was 6 steps to a 2019 best year ever. Now, this video is also going to be on xsellforums.com. So I've got a picture of that right here. There's other training videos on that, so make sure you're utilizing that because that's where the training videos are going to be posted. So the first one in the 6 steps to a 2019 best year ever is number 1, have a meaningful goal. Now this was a video that we watched the week before that went through these steps, but what I did was print these steps out, and I'll also email these steps out to everyone. So the first one is to have a meaningful goal. Now that doesn't mean I just want to be able to close 5 transactions this year. We've kind of set a company goal that we want to try to help every realtor do at least 25 transactions this year for 2019. The other is to have a why. One good way to look at this in a why is you'll only do something for money or certain aspects for so long, and then something will happen and you kind of lose your fight, I guess, is the way to put it. So having a why. The other thing in having a why is to kind of sit down and really think about this, and who suffers when I don't hit my goals? Those around me, whether it be family, friends. It's not always about money. But a lot of times, money does make a big difference in what we're doing. So you need to have a few positive reasons of why, but you also need to have a couple of negatives. Negatives tend to drive us much more than a positive goal will. Positive affirmations will help you kind of keep going, but a negative goal, or not a negative goal, but a negative reason, like I won't eat tomorrow, so I need to find some people who want to buy homes or sell homes. I know that's simplistic, but really sit down and think about that. And then the number 3 is to know and act on your daily numbers. Now this is where we talked about the 25 transactions. So I'm just going to kind of briefly go over this, but it's on the 2019 best ever. For someone who's newer, I consider that anywhere from 3 years less in real estate. 80 conversations equals 1 closed sale. So that's about 200 conversations a month, and about 10 a day. And the way we look at that is, so that's not 10 new people every day that you got to talk to, but it's about half of those should be people who know you, are in your sphere of influence, people you kind of know, and some you know better than others. And another quarter are brand new contacts. That's someone that you got a phone call from, or someone introduced you to them. Again, that's going to kind of fall back to some of your sphere. And the other quarter is business contacts. That's those people that you come into contact with, whether it be a plumber, electrician, or just different people that either you personally have used or that you have recommended. And make sure that you're sitting down with them once in a while to make sure that you're passing referrals back and forth. iExact, the contact management program we have, can really help with this, because you can actually type in where you're at with these clients, and you can actually make an actual to-do list that you can follow with doing that. Then that goes right into the next one, number 4, track and measure. Using iExact to know what your last conversation, what your last contact, but iExact is only as good as how much you use it. So you need to get used to using it on your smartphone and on your computer, and put in those conversations with people. And number 5 is super important, because none of this works until you start. So number 5 is start now. Even if you call 3 people today, and you start ramping up towards those 10, you have to start somewhere. I want to just back up for just a second too. With an experienced agent, you kind of cut those numbers in half. So an experienced is more like 40 to 1, 100 a month, 5 a day. And half of sphere and new people, and utilizing people in business that you utilize and use on a constant basis. And number 6, the last one, is remember to celebrate. Celebrate your goals. When you hit something, like the first day that you actually call 10 people, celebrate. Now, you don't have to go out and spend a bunch of money, but if you do have some money, take your significant other to lunch or to dinner. Buy yourself something that you've always wanted that's kind of inexpensive. A lot of times little things will motivate us more than a big thing. And then celebrate those on a daily, monthly, and yearly time period. So let's move on to a little bit more specifics and how to make those 6 things work. 6 modern strategies to generate more referrals in 2019. This is how we're going to get to those 10 calls a day, 5 calls a day, and do those 25 transactions per agent in 2019. Just imagine if you did that. So I'm going to send this out. It's a sheet that has to do with referral strategy number 1 is to make a video, just like I'm doing today. But make a video that you have a couple of them that are kind of saved on your computer, saved in your phone, that are thank you videos for when someone refers someone to you. So one of your sphere refers someone, send a short little 30-second video instead of just texting them, hey, thanks. Send them a video that means something. Also, do the same for those, whether they're present clients, to update them once in a while, but also for your business contacts that refer people, or you want to have them refer people. Send them a short video to say, hey, let's get a two-way thing going here, with referrals. Referral strategy number 2 is to create your dream 50. Now what this is instead of having a sphere of influence of 2,000 people, which would be very difficult to constantly contact, although you're going to use them in your call 10 a day, but you're going to have these others that are very good at giving you referrals. And the way that should kind of break down is about 25 business relationships: plumbers, electricians, copy machine people, your car repair, your hair people, all that kind of stuff should be about half, and the other half should come from past clients, members of your sphere that become really good referral. You might say, well, what about a new contact? Well, a new contact can come into that, say like something you just closed. Many times they just closed will refer you right away, but you have to train them to do that. Again, iExact is a really, really good thing for this. To kind of take this to the next level, invite one of your contractors to coffee and tell them to bring 1 or 2 of their clients that they're currently working with, and see if you can't buy them all coffee, or a light lunch or a light breakfast or something like that, just to say, hey, we're kind of networking and want to figure out the best way that we can help each other in our businesses. That can go a long ways. You can also get involved when we do our client appreciation, which is going to be coming up this spring, when company-wide, I invite you to bring up to 1 to 5 clients that you're either presently working with or in the past are part of those top people for referrals. And we're going to invite them in, we're going to feed them, we're going to have some games and some prizes, surprise gifts and things like that. We've done it for, this will be our 3rd or 4th one that we're doing. It works really, really well. And it's something that as a company we want to do on a big note. Referral strategy number 3. Get people talking about your post-closing gift. Now, get ingenuitive with this. So say you close with somebody, Send them a gift at their job. Instead of just to their home, send 2 smaller gifts, maybe to the husband and the wife, to something that's going to be really seen, whether it be flowers, some other type of gift. Send the gift or drop it off personally at their job. Night out on movie night out. There's lots of things. If you have trouble thinking of things, just get with me and I can help you with that. Because then they're going to say, oh, it's from my realtor. You mean your realtor stopped into your job and gave you a gift? Yeah, so great thing. Referral strategy number 4. Call and ask 3 questions. And then I put a 4th question in there with a blank. So when you're calling these people, here's some of the things that can spark the conversation. Number 1, have you had any thoughts of selling? A lot of times people are going to say no. So you need to kind of expound on that a little bit and say, well, I know I'm not just asking about you and your wife or your husband. I'm actually asking about the 100 people you know that I don't, that might be going through some sort of life change that would cause them to have a real estate change. Do you know anybody who's had any thoughts of selling? Again, it moves into that same thing that I just talked about. Who do you know who tried to move and it didn't work this last year? Very important question, because they may know somebody who kind of quit looking. They're all pre-approved, but they just quit looking. They could refer you and you could be their savior, because we can do mailings and we can work expireds. We can do a lot of things to find that. And the last one I have in there is your question with a blank. So think of a question that would kind of set you apart, that you're going to ask. And you ask all those questions. The next thing is to leverage your relationships with vendors. Again, this goes back to the people that you work with on a constant basis, and you refer out painters, attorneys, different things like that. Attorneys are a great source of referrals, because they work with people who have to do estates and divorces and different things like that, and then they need an attorney. So create some relationships with different people. Talk within the office and see who already has a relationship with somebody, and find a different attorney to have that relationship with. Can be a very, very good and profitable relationship. And once a month, meet with those vendors and make sure that you're passing business back and forth. They can forget about you very quickly, but nobody else meets with them on a monthly basis. The other thing is referral strategy number 6. Look for ways to expand your sphere every week. So go to different places. If you're not a member of Kiwanis or a BNI group or the Lions Club or a bowling team or a basketball team, or just all sorts of different ways that you can kind of interject yourself into the marketplace. Make sure you're doing that. The example I always give is people move every 5 to 7 years many times, at least 5 to 7 times in their lifetime, I mean. What distinguishes you from all of the other realtors they have to pick from? So you need to find a niche and a thing that makes you stick out. And then really push on that with your referral network. And that's the last step, is that finding your niche, finding your way to stick out. And I'm going to be sending these out to each realtor. If you were at Jumpstart this last week, you left with this, but some couldn't make it. So I wanted to put a video out just a little bit about it. So that video, again, is on xsellforms.com, and if you need the password, because only Xsell Realtors can get into that, then you can text or email me, but everybody should know that. But that's where this is going to be. So right now on there, we've got a video about how to use HomeSnap and make that more efficient. How to use 3-click postcards when you buy or sell a house, and how to notify all the people around that. They do the mailing and everything for you. Just make the postcard, they print it and mail it, and the whole 9 yards. So Super good information. Hope to see you. This is the last week of Jumpstart, and we're going to be going over expireds, which I've had the company go through and wash, so we know that over the last year, all the expireds, and be there because I'm going to hand some of those out to everyone.